Steve.
Hey YouTube, Cinny Steve back with another video. And today's going to be a bit of a random one. They're all sort of games that I've either missed on the list they should have been on. There's a couple of those. There's a couple of medium boxes that sort of go with other games. But yeah, just a bit of a random selection really, all big box mostly. So first up we've got Arabian Nights. If I owned Traps and Treasures, I probably would have done a Chryslis video on its own. It's definitely a game I want to get on this label. But Arabian Nights is actually a really good game. Next up we've got Vaughn Fight. This is a tighter game, one you don't see too often actually. It's quite a cool game. It's a little bit like Kicks. Yeah, one you don't see too often, that. And it's an arcade port, so you've got to love it. Absolute classic Amiga game, Flashback. Again, this one, I know that the lid could do with a bit of an iron, but other than that, it's a really tough game to get in good condition. And the lid is the only bit that's a little bit threadbare, but we can. I should be able to do something with that. To be honest, I haven't touched it. Let's put this back together. We'll stand it right up there. Being it's an Amiga classic. Next up, I'll tell you what, another Amiga classic that I never played when I was younger, but it was this and Syndicate that got the most sort of like, oh my god, where is it on my top 25 list. This should have been on the play-by video. I don't know how I missed it out. Again, a bit of a flimsy one. It's quite hard to get it in good nick. I mean, the spine's not too bad, but if an upgrade came along, I would upgrade that one. And another game I missed out on my Gremlin list this time, Pegasus. A bit of a boring shooter, to be honest. A bit repetitive, but a shooter nevertheless. So always welcome in my collection. A game that I spent hours on as a kid, Microprose Golf. I actually had a lot of Microprose games in my collection, but there was so many flight sims that I was just never going to play, and I ended up just moving a lot on. Just put them all in a big bundle. But played a lot of that Microprose Golf as a kid, and I know the follow-on was Greens. My dad loved it. It was a really good game. Another absolute classic Microprose game, FOGP, Formula 1 Grand Prix. Quality Formula 1 game this. Definitely an iconic Amiga game. Still plays well today, to be honest. Really good game. Sticking with the racers. Got Skidmarks. Never minded this. I used to have Super Skidmarks as well, but I can't seem to find that anymore. I don't seem to have that in my collection anymore. But it was alright, to be honest. I think it was a bit overrated. It played alright, but it was a very sort of popular game, and I don't really know why. I think it's a bit overrated. Then we've got Micromachines. Game I absolutely loved on the Mega Drive. I think it's pretty decent on the Amiga. Next up we've got the Lost Vikings. Quite highly rated on the consoles, I believe. Not really sure what the Amiga version's like. Should give it a go really. If I remember rightly, when I last tested this, it weren't working, so I think it needs to be clean. Let's leave that one up there. That's a thinner box. Moving on to Gauntlet 3. Used to love the second Gauntlet on the Amiga, but I don't think it got off. Oh, it did get a full release actually. I'll have to put that on the next video. I'll put that on the medium-sized boxes. But yeah, really, I never liked the 3D game, but the soundtrack to it, oh, it's got a bit of damage there as well, which is a bit rubbish. Just turn that around, hide that. yeah, the soundtrack on that is awesome. The soundtrack is brilliant on that. Next up, a bit of a point and click that I've never played. That's still got a big price on it. Got a bit of a bargain. This is Flight of the Amazon Queen by Renegade, isn't it? It is, yes. Apparently a good game. Again, it's not one that goes particularly cheap. And we've got Simon the Sorcerer. Not really sure what this is. Is this another point and click? Not really my sort of thing. But another one that I think's quite highly rated. I'm sure I've got that on CD32 as well. Next up, a very popular dungeon crawler, Eye of the Beholder. The first one. Never played it. I know that there was a big franchise of this, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. I remember Alex down at Level Up Gaming had a big bundle of them, and he didn't want that much from really. I think it was about 100 quid, and there was about, I think there was about 10 titles there. Probably a really good price. Then we've got the second one, Eye of the Beholder 2. Honestly, if these were my sort of thing, I would have snapped Alex's arm off for them, because again, I know they're quite sought after. I don't know if it was a full set, but there was definitely, would have been a lot of them. Next up, we've got Watchtower. I believe this is AGA only, isn't it? Not a bad game. It's a bit lackluster, to be honest. A bit like a Commando sort of Warzone clone. Nothing special. And next up, we have Turtles, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, coin op. Absolutely dreadful. And it's quite expensive as well. Like, it goes for a bit of a pretty penny. God knows why. It's rubbish. In fact, I don't think there's a decent Turtles game on the Amiga. Moving on to this one here, Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. I think this is more of a platformer that, again, I had a little go. Was not a fan. This one had a lot of free stuff in it, but I don't think any of it's still in there. It says stickers, tattoos, and postcards. Yeah, no, it's got none of that. Got a code book in there though. And I know there is a third Turtles game that I don't own. Yeah, not overly worried about it. Now, an absolute classic. One of the most expensive games I've ever bought on the Amiga. Hybris. It's in fantastic condition. Awesome game. Love this shooter. The soundtrack is brilliant. Never owned it as a kid. Never even really heard about it until Beats mentioned it. Awesome game. I had this as a kid, as a copy. Again, another really expensive one I bought actually. Street Rod. Would have been on pickup, quite recent. Absolutely love that artwork. Love the pink spine. Yeah, brilliant game. Well, it's a good game, but I'm very nostalgic about it, so I'm going to be biased. We've got Gloom, first person shooter. Not had much dealings with it at all. I was definitely onto the Mega Drive when a lot of the later releases came out. Next up, another pretty recent pickup, Bug Bomber. Bit of a Dino Blaster Bomberman clone. It's supposed to be good. I gave it a little go, but I think with games like that, you need it needs to be multiplayer. Then in the background, another medium-sized box just to keep on with the others. You know what else is coming. James Pond. Really like this game, to be fair. I've always liked James Pond, except for the third one. I've never played the third one, not properly anyway. So next up we've got a sequel, James Pond 2, Robo Cod. This one I've probably spent the most time with. I remember I used to spend a lot of time on this with on the Game Gear. Yeah, really cool game. That's the 1200 version as well. And so's this, the 1200 version of a very bashed up James Pomfrey. We need to get an iron on this. Again, doesn't look like there's any sort of rips and tears on it. Just needs a really good going over with the iron. Get some shape back into it. Then we've got the huge box, Campaign 2. Definitely not my sort of game, but this was a gift from the legend that is Sega Zombies, Scott Brand. And I don't give away gifts. This will sit proudly in my collection. Alright, down to the last few now, or last 4 or 5, a few compilations as well. The legend that is Secret of Monkey Island. I've had quite a few copies of this as well and just sort of kept upgrading it. Really got to give them a go. Never played them. Obviously I've seen them, do you know what I mean? I know a bit about them, but I've never got fully immersed in it. And this one's supposed to be even better, Monkey Island 2. Bit of squashing in this one actually. I thought it was in a lot better condition. Again, I mean, there's no real creasing in it, but it's maybe another one for the iron. I'll tell you what, this James Pond there is not helping anyone. Let's put that back up there. Right, and then a couple of compilations. Let's go with, again, I probably could have put this in the Ubisoft part, but Megalomania and First Samurai. I know Megalomania is a really highly rated game by Sensible Software. Don't think I've ever played First Samurai. Doesn't look too bad, to be fair. Yeah, we'll give that one a go. I mean, I would love to own more of the LucasArts games, but they're really expensive. And I've got this compilation with Monkey Island, Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, Loom, Zack McCracken and Maniac Mansion. I mean, I know Maniac Mansion and Loom, really expensive games. And Zack McCracken's quite expensive as well. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I love full price releases, but I believe Loom and Maniac Mansion are going well over 100 quid now. And for a game that I might never play, it's far too much. Obviously, if I get them in a bundle, don't owe me anything, I'll keep them. And then this one too. Flashback, Another World, Cruise for a Corpse, Operation Stealth and Future Wars. I've played Another World and Flashback. Again, iconic games. Because I don't own Another World. I'd love to own Big Box Another World. I'd spend a little bit of money on that. Again, I think that's going sort of for 50 quid plus now. But that's it. It was a bit of a random one, really. There's a few sort of sets in there with James Pond. A few Turtles games. That's again not helping anyone having that in the middle. Few point and clicks, but all sort of I don't know, many more Microprose games. Hybris is just quality. I mean, the amount of times I thought, oh, should I just do a shooters video? I might do that in the future with after watching Ash 81 Before You. Brilliant watch that was, but he's got so many shooters I've never even heard of. But yeah, that's the big box sort of random ones out of the way. I'm gonna go on to film the medium boxes now. I'll catch up with you on the next one. Take care, YouTube.